Please tell us about the Kalash people of Kafiristan, or so-called Nuristan, their culture and their heroic resistance. So let me show you who these Kalash people are. The Kalash people, they one second, one second. Let me pull up the particular web page so that I can share it with you. Okay, so this is the Google search for the Kalash people. The Kalash people are an ancient indigenous people of northwestern India, which is present day northwestern Pakistan, region and parts of Afghanistan. The region of Pakistan is called Chitral. It is west of Gilgit Baltistan. Pakistan occupied Gilgit Baltistan. And the region of Afghanistan is present day Nuristan. They call it Nuristan now. It was earlier called Kafiristan because these people held on to their ancient beliefs. And when it was sanitized and the ancient beliefs were stamped out, it was called Nuristan, the land of light. So these are the people of the Kalash people. As you can see, they look mostly look more like Europeans in some way. You know, they have a European kind of appearance, and somehow most of the images are of women, females, and they have very nice, interesting dresses and all. These are clearly non-Muslims. These people practice a very ancient form of Hinduism. It's almost like a Rigvedic form of Hinduism, very, very ancient. And so these are the people. They're a very small group in this region. It is a bunch, like about 3 or 4 valleys in the high mountains in this region, and because they are so isolated, that's why they have been able to escape the brutality of the foreign occupation, and they have been able to thus far, to some extent, preserve the culture. They basically were massacred in Afghanistan, and Kafiristan was turned into Nuristan, which means they were all converted by force, whoever survived. And now the same thing is happening in Chitral in Pakistan. So these Talibanist people, they are basically converting them by force. So these are the ancient people. Who are these people basically? So their their DNA has been analyzed. So what is found is that their patrilineal DNA lineages are all of Indian subcontinent origin, R1A, etc. These are all Indian lineages. They are mostly found in extremely high proportions and frequencies and diversity in the Indian subcontinent. But the matrilineal lineages seem to be of Western Eurasian origin. So it looks like their ancestral maternal populations were possibly of Western Eurasian origin. So it's a very interesting mixture of genetics over here. So the matrilineal lineages are of Western Eurasian origin to a large extent, not fully, and the patrilineal lineages are Indian. And the culture is an ancient form of Hinduism. So it's clear that they have been isolated and they've been practicing this culture for a very long time, for several thousand years. Some of them nowadays believe that they are the descendants of Greek soldiers of Alexander, etc. DNA analysis shows that this is just a myth. It's just a belief. There is no DNA evidence that in any way bears that out. So these are essentially an ancient Indian group with some of basically female foreign lineages, Western Eurasian lineages that also in antiquity might have been Indian in origin, because as you know, Indians have been going westwards out of India for nearly 10,000 years. So it's a very interesting population. They still, to some extent, practice their original culture, their indigenous culture, but in recent times, in the past 2 or 3 decades, the forced conversions have been intensifying. The frequency is increasing, and it looks like this beautiful ancient culture may not last for a very long time. So that is the truth about the Kalash people. That's who they are. It's a sad story. It's a tragic story. It looks like they may soon get assimilated into the mainstream Pakistani population and culture. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that they're able to continue. I mean, the world is beautiful when there's so much diversity. A monoculture is dull, boring, and insipid. You want diversity of cultures and traditions and beliefs, and that's what makes the world interesting. You go to a new place, there's something new to see every time, instead of seeing the same old everywhere. So I hope that this very interesting and very beautiful ancient culture survives. I hope it is preserved, but the future doesn't look that great for them. So that's who the Kalash people are. They are an ancient Indo Indo-European people, mostly of Indian origin, but their matrilineal lineages seem to be of Western Eurasian origin, which is very interesting. There's a story behind that which has not yet been discovered. So there's more to know in the case of these people.